Alright, hello, welcome back to Resident Evil Village. This is part 16. Let's start the video off with a pretty dangerous hunt. Now, with this hunt, there are no notes that point to how you get this creature to appear. And I was under the assumption that there was a note, but I guess there's not one. And I mean, I guess there could be somewhere in the village, but I never encountered it or seen it. I just kind of went back on my first playthrough and revisited areas before I continued with the ending, and came across this thing. So it's worth an achievement as well. Very tough encounter though. It can eat up a lot of your ammo if you're not properly set up for it, and it sucks. So because we have two basic, this is an optional fight along with another optional area right here to get this cannibal's plunder treasure before we move on to Heisenberg's area. So this can be a lot of ammo wasting if you don't really want to do it, then you can skip it. But I find that we're doing everything anyway in the game, so let's just go ahead and make this part of our challenge run. And this is the same thing that I did too in my first playthrough, so trust me, you'll end up with a lot of things in order to beat the game anyway. So it's honestly not that big of a deal. Then the only thing that I really found that might have taken us back here for any reason is we get a treasure of a rare animal, and we've already encountered this white pig to give us the quality meat like way earlier if you did your village exploration right after Castle Demetrius. So I'm not really sure like where we were supposed to kind of find that, but that's the only thing. I mean, we found it very early in the game, so I don't know. Its timing just doesn't make sense. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to use kind of a simple strat here. You can guide this creature all the way up towards this house, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing. So we're going to take pop shots with our rifle, have it hit the landmines as it approaches, and then shoot it with a wolfbane and then run into the house, which is basically an easy way to deal with this guy. So giant Vârcolac, as we can see here, and we just want to get easy, simple headshots. Hopefully he kind of reaches us. Sometimes you run away too quickly and then it's just going to reset itself. Do a little bit more of a walk towards it. There he comes. Oh. The reason why I choose this route too is because it's a little bit harder to get him to, or to get easy free shots on him when you enter through this door, and then it just becomes a problem where you're kind of caught in between the doors and him. But all we're trying to do is just piss this dude off, though. You hear him running, to just go. Okay. He's getting a little closer to us each time, so let's just set one out here. That's messed up. Okay, I guess we'll just take what we got then. Yeah, so, I mean, the Magnum rounds are, you know, to be used on tough enemies like that, and honestly, I mean, it's called a Wolfsbane anyway, so why wouldn't you use the Wolfsbane on a giant wolf? But there's really essentially nothing to go back for at this point, so it was just one of those challenge fights. If you beat it using the simple shred that we did right there, then, yeah, you're golden. And then just continue on. And then now we are approaching pretty much the end game content. This is all done and explored. There will never be a need to come back here again, and as a matter of fact, you won't be able to after you progress through this section. So pretty much make peace with whatever you have accomplished here, because this is it. There will be no more coming back and doing all that stuff ever again. So continue on through to progress the game, and then continue on the left side in order to do an optional path. All right. Now this area can be a little bit of a difficult challenge because we have another fight coming up, which can waste a lot of your ammo. And ammo being as precious as it always has been in these games, you know, you are making a decision every single time when you know, explore the side routes of Resident Evil, that if you're going to come across some encounters that are going to be very difficult. And really what these places do is that they just whittle down your ammo so much that if you choose not to do any of the optional things that we've done up to this point, aside from the places that drop ammo, you usually will end up with a lot of ammo that you won't know what to do with by the time you reach the end game. So inside of here would usually be a goat, but as I've always done, we've destroyed all those before. And the game does a really good job at kind of setting you up for the next areas anyway. You just have to, you know, do your part and not miss and pull a lot of different shots. So we're still pulling meat. Explosives. A lot of hidden stuff on the outside, just one of those types of things, right? Won't ever let us know to when we clear an area, so you do want to give a general check. I think the hardest things to find in this game are definitely the herbs, because the herbs are just, they blend in with a lot of different shit, and then you won't really know where they're at unless you're actively really looking for things. Okay. Loud metal thump, of course. Yeah, so name of the game is going to be to DPS this guy. Except this time, we actually get, like, an arena, like a proper arena to deal with him. Okay, when those suckers come through, I just kind of sit in here. Because they are not fun to deal with while you're dealing with this guy. Usually try to thump him when these guys are kind of flying close over. Those over here just like, just right underneath him. I mean, call it what you want, but I mean, it's a simple, safe strategy, right? It's not going to get you like to run around here like a complete idiot and just kind of take unnecessary risk, eliminate your HP for no reason. You can actually just straight up skip him too, because all you got to do is just shoot down these 3 locks or stab him, whatever you want to do. But obviously killing him, right, will net you the crystal great axe that we've already found before. So a lot of it's just general, like, if you truly want to do this kind of shit. I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually pretty fun. When I first did it, I was running around the entire arena trying to set landmines as he was walking up the stairs. He was jumping up and down all over the place. Then these guys enter the fucking arena, and you're just like, oh my god. Like, this is worse than the first one. Because the first dude, you had to run in a circle, and you couldn't really put your eyes on him because he would be, like, behind you within, like, a second or something, So it really made it kind of difficult to deal with the first one, and we were under, we didn't have any of the weaponry. I didn't even need to use the Magnum for this guy at all, and I shot every single Magnum bullet into him, and, a lot of the stuff that was, like, chip damage because I was shooting at his body. So if I was to, like, land perfectly placed headshots the entire round, I mean, we probably could have did this within, like, I don't know, 20 rounds or less than that, maybe? I don't know. But using the door strat, it's a lot simpler and safer to deal with it. And then just having him land on the landmines, which pretty much do a bunch of damage, and didn't really utilize too much of the other weaponries, like the grenade launcher or anything like that. But these dudes are just huge tank monsters. They're not really the funnest things that I've ever come across in Resi games, but, it's an extra challenge for whatever reason, and yeah. So we went ahead and completed that mess. It should be cleared. And then pretty much what you gain from this entire fight is meat. That was the whole point of this section, was to do the meat. Now, since we already have all of Ethan's upgrades, this is kind of a useless place to us, being that the meat is only good for selling now. Because there's not going to be like a hidden, like upgrade that Ethan will finally like uncover or whatever. Like all 6 of those upgrades is all we came across, and that's all you're going to get for the duration of the game. July 8th, today's the day the Jolly Merchant stops by. He always gives me old newspaper. I know Miranda forbids them, but news of the outside world is always so fascinating. There was one thing that piqued my interest in the last one. It was an article about some medicine company. I don't remember the name, but their emblem looked familiar. It was the same symbol on the giant's chalice. I'm pretty sure I saw some same one painted on the walls in the cave too. That radiating umbrella image really stands out. What's some outsider company emblem doing here? I wonder if it had anything to do with that man that stayed here all those years ago. No, I'm overthinking it. Okay, so looting, right? Looting to a pretty big thing here. And then all of that to get Father Nicola's angel, antique angel statue that was treasured by Nicola, one of the 4 founders. So this one's just made out of pure gold. So we found wood, silver, and now a pure gold statue. And then also one last good look at these, because we will never see them again. Just a giant crystal axe. Put that in your pocket. Honestly, shit rewards right there. I would have preferred ammo, but okay. Okay, and then that's it for the mill. So I didn't want to spoil that in case, you know, you ran out the mill with no ammo. And you're like, alright, tough fight, everything's over and done with, and then you got fucking 4 lichens that just appear out of nowhere. And hopefully you didn't destroy the barrels, you know. First thing I did when I shot the barrels, because I don't know. You game for so long that you kind of have like this innate thing where you're just like, I'm just going to shoot things that make no sense. And yeah, I didn't see the setup here, so I was like, alright, whatever, just shoot these. And then I was like, damn, I could have used those. How unfortunate. So pretty cool location, just a little mill over here, you know. Not much you can do with it now, though. That was it. That was all it's good for. And then obviously the biggest and best thing we can do for ourselves right now is to return to the Duke and sell off all our goods, make final upgrades before we enter this other zone that we're about to go through. It's like I was saying, like this is, you know, it's only unlocked now because we've already found the puzzle, but it would have been locked out for good because you can't go past anymore to any other places. Okay, Resi Village is now coming down to its final chapters here. Not much to do left, but just to survive Heisenberg's area, which is a pretty decent-sized area too. Compared to the prior 2 lords that we defeated.
As you wish.
Crystals, skulls. The ancient beast is 80,000, so it's definitely worth killing that sucker. Giant crystal, and then the father statue.
Now this is something to splurge on.
Indeed, my friend. Now, what I should have did is I should have spent all my ammunition and remembered, but I think I would have eventually had to reload it. So it's not too big of an issue. Which is one of those things, like, damn it, I could have had a little bit of an upgrade. Then one little final looky through here.
To hunger used to be alive.
And like I said, there's no more need for the meat. That was all the meat that we are actually going to get. So you can just sell off these. They're not going to... They're just doing nothing but taking off inventory space, so we just want to clear that up. Of course, my man. Okay. So, I mean, if you do your exploration through the entire game, you're going to end up with all upgrades prior to that anyway. I think that the mill was a little bit poorly placed because we probably could have gotten this as like a subsection for, you know, if you do want Ethan's final upgrades or like the best ones the game's offer, like you have to come here and deal with that whole giant and Samco's coming down and doing all that kind of crap. It's just the oddly placed way that they've done things in this game is, you know, it leaves a lot to be desired, and that's kind of where my hit point for the game comes from, like why it's not a 10 out of 10 Resi game. You know, it's these weird placements of treasures and the fact that they're hiding stuff too. Like, I don't understand how you know, why would you ever want to run back here unless you're just like me and you're just kind of like, okay, I just want to run back there to do it. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, there's a dangerous hunt for a trophy. Like, who thinks like that? Most of the time, you're just going to follow these big-ass yellow signs that are pointing you to a direction you need to end up going anyway. Yeah. So, 2 optional bosses here. We went ahead and took care of both of those. And now we will actually be able to enter through the stronghold area. And I would say that I'm actually looking pretty decent. I'm not even gonna say decent. I say we're actually like overstocked right now. Because compared to how I kind of ended my first run, I was with nothing. I was using so much of this stuff that I didn't even know what I was doing half the time with like my ammunition. And then just for crafting purposes, I mean, we still can make quite a bit of things here. Like it's, we got 6 iterations of mines. We can make 6 iterations of pipe bombs. And then still be comfy enough to make like rifle ammo, shotgun ammo, handgun ammo. Healing aids are kind of difficult to come around. I mean, I've been traveling the game pretty much every area without one and having to use it at the end of each lane, which is kind of how they set that up. So the guarding and everything is really like, you need to do it. Otherwise, just take that huge damage. You don't have to heal and panic attack. Then I'm not really much of a knife user like that because I know the standard difficulties in every one of these Resi games doesn't really call for you to do this. But if we were playing hardcore or anything like that, you definitely want to make use of the knife in some encounters or just straight up just dodge encounters. What makes me want to fight every single encounter in this game is that there's always a reward at the end of it, though, right? Like even from the tinier lichens or from the little Moricas or whatever they're called, they give you stuff. And, that's definitely something that I need. Okay. So there's a little bit more hidden stuff around this world, though. Like we still got some of the end game to go through, but then there's like, more stuff that you can kind of go towards and get some final little pieces of hidden treasure and stuff like that. So let's just take a look real quick. Alrighty. Yep, so everything looks good. So when we come back to the next part, we'll just go ahead and go straight through the stronghold area and see what awaits us down over there. All right. Until next time, see you again.